what I'm doing today is a property management. We're doing a team training. We're actually going with the cleaning crew, training them on this new crew to what to look for, what to clean, all that kind of stuff, and just to make sure that the property is spotless. Now, one of the things that's really important right now, we're in a transitions. We're transitioning from one client to another, so that's we're in the turnover phase. Okay, so that means that a client just left this morning. They just left literally like 45 minutes ago, and the next client is coming in right after them. So in that interim is what we're getting done. So typically a client would, not so many hours apart. Typically here, they usually take about 8 to 10 hours before the client comes. So that's what we got going on right now. So I'll give you a little information about this property. You can see the main road is just here behind me. Some more apartments here. I'm actually going to turn the camera around, and I'm going to be talking a little bit quietly until I get into the property, because again, this is a property that has tenants. So I don't want them to feel awkward that I'm filming and stuff like that. So let me turn the camera around, and I'm going to show you, and I'll talk a little bit more as we go inside. Okay, here's our main gate. Okay, here's the property. So you can see it's a 369 unit. All right. We have 3 here, 3 there, and there's Cris. There's Cris. Cris is the manager of Uganda Properties. And then we're going to go in here. I'm going to take you upstairs. Now, if you're wondering, this property is actually fairly, let me come back here. This property is actually fairly new. It's a new construction. And it literally was just finished building, I think about, let me see, I think 4 months ago. Yeah, maybe a little bit more than that, maybe 5 months ago, all right? So let me tell you a little bit about what Cris does, right? We got a lot of activity going on here. But first, let me tell you a little about what Cris does. Cris manages the cleaning team. He works with the clients, gets them if they need help. Let's say, let me come out here. If they need help, like coming from the airport, if they need help checking in, checking out. So Cris was already here this morning checking the client out. Then he got the team, brought him here to start the cleaning process for the next turnover. Okay, so that's what Cris does. Cris is the manager of that. He also, just to give you some background about him, he also deals with our land, our rentals, and our properties that we're selling and buying. So, for example, we're buying 3 apartments. We're buying 3 apartments next week. Cris is managing the whole coordination of that process, getting the seller, well, we're the buyer, seller together, also any other brokers, stuff like that, bringing them together. So he manages that also. So let me just do I'm also going to give you a tour, I'm going to give you a kind of tour of what's going on here. So you get to first check out the outside of this property. So we're on a 2nd level. It's got a nice view. It's really quiet. It's got a nice grassy area here. This is a really quiet side of town. Here we have, the area rug. Now here we have the clean laundry. I'm going to show you this right here. There's some of the clean laundry that's coming in that has already been cleaned. All right. So we got cleaners going on. We got the TV set up. And we have the kitchen area. So here we have the kitchen cooker. And so unfortunately, we could drill a hole in the thing and then put this over here. That's like the goal long term. But right now we have it there, the propane tank. So this is the main kitchen here. So they're doing their thing cleaning. And then we'll come over here. Now this is a 1-bedroom, by the way. This is a 1-bedroom, 1 bathroom. So it's a 1-in-1. So here we have the fan, because if they get hot, we got the fan. Here we have an ironing board with the flat. I think that's really important for clients. We have a really nice sized bed because, let me come back here. Oh, let me just show you the closets real quick. Got these inbuilt closets, if you can see that there. All right. So towels, I know they're not here yet. But they're not here yet because they're still in the other side. But we're going to put in here, like, there's extra covers, extra curtains, there'll be extra towels. Everything is extra. And by the way, you always want a mattress cover. There's one here, and there's another one right here. You always want those in the hospitality business because just treat it like a hotel, right? Because you never know what's going on in the bedroom. But yeah, you got to treat it like as if it's a mini hotel. All right. So now the bed, you basically, even though one guest may stay in your place, you want to have a bed big enough for two people because most of the time you're going to have, they're going to bring a guest most of the time. Actually, we have one guy who's got this reservation for the entire month in January, and he's coming alone so far. I mean, he may bring someone, but what you don't want to do is you don't want to have the single beds, okay? Unless you're dealing with a bigger house. But we know in this market that the properties that work really well are properties that are 1 bedroom, 1 bath. Those are the most common rented properties. And that's what you really want to find out in a property, by the way, in an area, in a market. You want to find out what is the most commonly rented type of property. And you want to always have those properties because, well, that's what's most in demand. You don't want to be getting a property that has a lot of demand, the way the demand is low. So just going back to what I was saying earlier about, guys, that this property here is not the property that I was telling you about just the other day. This is actually another property. The property I was telling you guys about the other day, I'll do another walkthrough. The cleaning crew hasn't got there. That's the one we got under contract. We got into the deal with no money out of our own pocket. We're doing a split on that deal with the owner. So I want to show you like how you can get into this business with like literally no money out of your own pocket. That's the beauty about doing this kind of model. So that's not even this property. I'm going to show you that property probably either later on today or tomorrow. I'll show you like before and after, the final pictures and all that stuff, just to walk you through the entire process. Okay. So going back, this is again one of our other properties. So going back to this property. You just want to make sure that they have everything they need. They have, extra blankets, towels, all that kind of stuff. And then there's one guy in the bathroom. That's the bathroom there. So I can't show you that. So let me introduce you to Cris. I'll ask Cris a few questions. So this is Cris.
Hello.
What's up? All right. So Cris, how long have you been doing real estate properties for?
For 4 years now.
4 years. Okay. And how did you get actually started in real estate, doing properties? How did you get started, by the way?
I didn't have work. So I was looking for work. I looked for work for almost like 2 years. No one was willing to give me work.
Yeah, like hiring like for a job, like a regular job.
For a job. I even looked for cleaning work. I could find cleaning work.
Yeah.
But now something just crossed my head. I was like, these apartments that come out, these people selling their land, and I would go look for such people, look at their property, and I'm like, I look for the contacts. I'm like, hey, you have a property here. How about if I go to your client? What would you give me for that?
Right.
And so they were like, they would get me a commission, and that's how basically how I started.
So see how he started, like, which is it's so cool because actually when I first met Cris, I was like, this guy can hustle. Like he can hustle. He knows like the hustle mentality. But the idea is like, so he went from not finding a job to actually getting into real estate just by hustling. And I think a lot of people miss that sometimes. They think that they need an education, they think they need a degree, or they need all this experience. No, you can actually learn along the way. And so when he's first started, he was basically a broker. Like you started off as a broker, right?
I was, yes.
Looking
for a commission.
Yeah, looking for a commission.
Yeah.
So he was connecting buyers and sellers.
Exactly.
Or people even renting, right? Even people looking for a place to rent. Buyers and sellers for property, buyers and sellers for land, houses, and then tenants for property. And he would make the commission in the middle. That's it. Bringing two people together. That's a lot of the same thing that you guys do. That's a lot what we teach you to do, is to do that same thing. Be that middle guy and make it happen. So we started doing that, and then we got into the property management business, or the Airbnb and the short-term rental business. And that's what Cris has been doing with our Wakanda properties, is managing projects like this and other projects that we have going on. So that's what he mainly does. So one of the most important things, and why I chose Cris about a year ago? I think it was about a year ago we met, right?
1.5 years ago.
1.5 years ago.
Yes.
is because we've done a bunch of stuff. We've done, like, we're buying those 3 apartments there in Matuga. Yes. We've been doing a bunch of stuff, but one of the most important things you want to look for in a partner or, someone you want to build a business with is someone who has that motivation. Because, listen, sometimes you can meet a lot of people who say or they talk that they want, to do it, but they're not actually willing to do the hustle part. And that's what you want to do, So Cris has strengths that I don't have strengths in. And I have strengths in that Cris doesn't have strengths in. And we work together. We learn from each other. And that's really important. That's the kind of people you want to find in your business so that you can work together as a team and grow it. Most of the time people go at this alone. And it's harder, right? Yeah. And we even have people that let's say partner with. We have like property managers that we connect with. We have what's that other broker, that nice guy that we always work with?
Katende.
Yeah, Katende. So we have Katende. He's like a partner to us. We always know we can go to him. That's really important when you're building a team in your real estate business because it helps you grow faster as someone you can trust, someone you can rely on. So I wanted you guys to meet Cris because actually, I was actually going to introduce you guys to him on the next property, but since we're already here, why not make it happen? So thanks, Cris. Thanks, bro. All right. So so that's what they got going on here. I'm going to head back outside, and like I said, so this property is actually fairly new, and actually Cris is the one. So I want to tell you something, that Cris is actually the one that found this property. I didn't even find this property. Okay, and now the other property that I was telling you guys about, I did find. That one I actually found through just networking with people, and they knew what we were doing with Wakanda Properties, and they knew the properties that we had and the activity. We pulled that property in through marketing. However, this property Cris found, and he actually found another 2 properties for the company. And so that's another thing too, guys. I want you to keep in mind that you don't have to be the one always searching for the deals. You have to know what you want and what you're looking for. And then you have to be able to put it out there to your team so they can bring it to you. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, and if you guys have any questions, by the way, about anything I've mentioned in regards to this property, post it in the comments below. If you like this idea of getting into short-term rentals, some people call this, the Airbnb, but I want you to keep something in mind. Airbnb is not the only source. Most people, it's like when they think tissues, they think Kleenex, they think Airbnb to short-term rentals. Actually, short-term rentals is much more than just Airbnb. There's Booking.com, Expedia, and so on and so forth. And actually, a lot of my other properties that I have, they are actually in through other sources. We get a lot through Booking.com. So anyway, guys, if you have any questions about what I've been sharing, you want to know more about it, any questions at all, just throw it in the comment section below. Again, I'm also going to show you the other properties that we have, the one that we got under contract with no money out of our own pocket. I'm going to show you that property as well. But in the meantime, before that next video, throw any questions you have in the comments below, and I'll see you real soon, okay? See ya.